and welcome to my channel, and welcome to day 6 of Figuary. And today I thought I'll do an actual traditional piece of art rather than do a digital piece. And I haven't done one for a while, traditional, and this is me using Conte crayons. So if you don't like pastels, and you kind of like the blendability of them, but you don't like the feeling of them or how dirty your fingers can get, Conte sticks are actually harder, and they're not quite as dirty because they're made of wax and... is it charcoal? I don't remember actually. I have to look it up. I think it's charcoal, but yeah, they're easy. I mean, they don't blend as well. They blend okay on paper with more texture. This paper doesn't have a lot of texture to it, so I mean, it's got a bit of texture. It's pastel paper, but if it had more texture, you'd get better lines and better blending. But yeah, the Conte crayons, generally they come in like skin tones or grays, but you can get them in other colors too. But I've got a set of colors. I've got grays, I've got red, I've got all kinds. I used to use them quite a lot. I actually like them. But then you get much finer lines, as you can kind of see here, but you can still blend them. So if you want the blended look, you can still get the blended look. Now, I wasn't drawing this at an angle, so in the end the eyes end up slightly different sizes, and the head's not exactly quite right, because I had to draw this flat. Normally I would do this either right at an angle on the wall or an easel, but I didn't. I kind of had it angled up a little bit, but I should have had it angled more. But yeah, so live and learn. But yeah, no, yeah, so drawing medium, Conte, drawing medium made up of compressed charcoal or graphite with the addition of wax or clay mixed in for the base, as well as natural pigments for color. Conte crayons are actually commonly used for the initial sketch. For a pastel drawing, as the colors mix well. So that's a very quick thing. But yeah, you can use them with pastels. I haven't used them with oil pastels. I'm not really sure if you could. You might be able to. I'm not really sure. But yeah, it's got a kind of ghosty look here, but that's okay. And then I probably should have added a bit lighter colors actually now that I think about it beforehand, because it does get a little dark in the end. But yeah, live and learn. It's been a while since I've used Conte, but I'm going to use it more because I forgot how much I like using it, and it works quite well, especially for life drawings, because you can do the really scratchy effects. But no, I definitely use rougher paper next time though. And maybe a lighter color, or maybe darker color paper. I've got different paper. It would be interesting to see what some of the lighter colors look like on the darker one. You might get the whites might show up better actually, this is kind of like a gray paper, kind of off gray paper, so the white didn't show up very well once I had the basic colors down. But the shading was okay. It's a very ghosty effect kind of here, but it gets darker when I get closer to the end. It had a bit of shadow to her neck and her chin, and I'm still trying to lighten up some areas because I just couldn't get them light enough. But, like I said, live and learn. Yeah, it kind of looks like, now I'm like looking at this back, it's like I can see mistakes, but mistakes were made. But practice makes perfect and all that stuff. And I was trying to angle it to see if I could get the eyes looking better. It didn't work. Give it some kind of eyebrows, just a rough eyebrows, just so it doesn't look so spooky, we'll say. Even though the eyes doesn't end up with much of a pupil, just kind of hints of pupil. And then I added some gray to the skin tones, which I probably shouldn't have, but you know, it kind of worked. I needed to add a bit more definition to her cheeks and stuff. It's very harsh light on the reference image, but very dark side, partly because she's wearing a scarf over her head. But I decided I'm not going to do it for today, a full drawing. I'll just focus on a face, because when you do a life drawing, you can focus on whatever you want to focus on at the time. And I decided we'll do a face. I haven't drawn a face that kind of looks more like a face rather than a bunch of squiggly lines with the digital stuff. I had problems with her nose too, but it kind of comes together in the end. I add a bit of more shape to it, and because I add more shading in the end, any mistakes that I made you don't see, which is handy. But I'm just adding a bit of under shading for her scarf that's over her head. I think it's a scarf. Yeah, it looks like a scarf. And so yeah, the gray I probably should have added. It kind of makes things a bit too dark. Probably just use blues and purples, maybe a bit of pinks, which I end up doing later, and then she gets kind of like a mustache, but that's okay. You know, you can fix that, sort of. Define the lips. See, her face is kind of angled wrong, but it looks okay if you don't stare at it too much. But, no, and I shouldn't have added such dark lines to her nose, because it just makes her look kind of odd. Little sort of, not quite alien, but a little odd. I added a bit of pink, seeing as that would help. It doesn't. It's too dark already. The pink doesn't show up. So I said, you know what? There's purple and blue in skin tones. There is. So, you know, if you're painting stuff, add them because it helps. So I thought I'll just add a bit of purple and blue for the shading, which is what I should have done in the first place. But yeah, so it tends to help because when you look at your skin, you know, you can see the blues and the purples and the greens. So it's not just cream and pale as people think. There's many colors in human skin. It's kind of creepy if you think about it. It's quite cool under a microscope, though, when you look at it. Very scaly kind of looking. But it makes sense. I'm just trying to lighten things up here, and it just doesn't work. But I said, left it too late. So I just ended up, you know what? We'll just make things darker to compensate, to make things that are lighter. Try to look as light as possible. And then I decided here, no more blending. Let's just make it scratchy, which is what I like about Conte. You can make it really scratchy looking. And I like the way it looks in the end with a scratchiness, bit of a texture to it. And I'm trying to fix her nose here, which doesn't quite work. She's got a very lopsided nose, which is kind of like me. I've broken my nose I don't know how many times. I was quite clumsy as a child, so it's kind of crooked. But I was a kid coming home bruised and bladdered and bloody noses. But so yeah, I have a bit of blue. It just gives them shading. Maybe a bit too much blue, but I like the look. It's not exactly correct, I guess, but it was correct in art. There is no correct. And I shouldn't have made her lips pink. I should have just kind of did them grey. And they kind of, I fixed them eventually, but they're really lopsided and a bit too wide for her face when it comes down to it. And I actually did her white thing, but I've lost the clip. So there is no clip. It'll just jump to the final image, and probably quite soon, now that I think about it, after I add this. And I was quite annoyed at myself that I lost that clip. Not that it's fabric, it's not very well done fabric, but see, it's not very well done fabric. But it's done. It's a little dark, but it's okay. Like I said, I need to fix the nose, and the eyes are slightly different sizes. But for a traditional piece I haven't done for 3-4 years, I'm quite happy with it. So thank you for watching, and thank you for watching day 6 of Figuary. Tomorrow I'm back probably to digital work, so come back and see that.